ti papa ne ba ko pe MPP
to bia no wode nsabo nkum be kire na je fi
je se ne nko ma se be yefu ti kan make kai no ba se mu de ne
bia wo na be kase ye
exactly
yemko
ono na ye parliamentary candidate Emma Asukwa Minia Kunle Amokamel what meti say o say na woda
obi send by say Minia ba amasaponkuma nkuma me send by
saponkuma nkuma na send
yeah
okay
say your birthday dey no kure ba mami twam ma ye wa hei so ni pa kunim so ye adwuma hanko ade
o mi na bibisa question
so
support no nim dem ne be yin
okay
anti we makule
ene musia wa akiri ho na mo
Amokamel me mano awoda pa na me bompa ese nyame onka no ho na omwa no
no ninkunimu wa Asukwa fan so
na the beautiful Patricia Page
the club goes for account kwa ode yemko
ai bongo
anim
mama sorry anim mama ma ahwefo nyina ache na menchia menua my learned colleague in the studio and they will so also one can answer
Asaki
music band
they say that no nti my boss wa ma no
also ebiana nakoka no no be se biam da se mo show bia no nti wo ka dia o na
insight
when I had the neutral appetite
people say no
when I had the neutral appetite you know kasa na no hu say I mean se be ya the depreciation of the city and the businesses also my room no ye nyuma ye di nyina I mean businessmen especially importers omo crane am free amanane ba no it's not saying your money enye wo ye krom henti no e den awa ko fa free obi man so na ide aba na wo ko fa free obi man so a untumi mfa Ghana ye city no ene de be ye de aba akoto wo se wo se sika no free Ghana city num na wo fa se kurukro so sika na wa akwaje but so where said oh my we are seeing that the dollar is predominantly the most used or preferred currency in circulation obi AUC at the year and she say oh na say businessman no atam the sika bia Ghana cedi bebre no da kwasesa na konya dollar kakra na odi aba no da kokra ne nyoma wakra ne ma ne kra wie na eba no enyoma tumi esesa ase ekosoro ase eba form said the worker no na ama all the time no I said all cause depression I mean that is the stress of work as what to ha ukra na adwendwene bia ide aba beto so
onim de be kochina
ye metra ha me ka say the worker no say dollar city depreciation no affect businesses ya anka say admit say the city depreciation affect businesses however there are measures are put in place say yes anka bia sa abruka be bia anka edru no so where domestic exchange restructuring any recently the Moody's for Adiaba it should tell you say I was say ene say Asaki Aringo be me yonko so otie and ohya any the upgrades are Moody's there be no it is a justification say we are on the right path it won't kana come antonium things will be better than it is now. Minim say ni what the matter
metio pra metio
me beso betim ke beso wote ase
metio
me no na edi nkomo
me tie na metio
be na say me
nkomo de me no na edi
ha
ba tie na metio
obi me no edi nkomo na me ka asem na
me o ka na metio
na what ase
ka na mo asem bisa na mate ase yi
na de ase na ba for session that
na
ya ma nko no bato metio
enti say I will go back Asaki asema okano say depression and depreciation of the city there's a DD miluna ekabuma edi sajuma no I mean that is no assertion but we from the government side and Ghana for do na who say we are on the right track now we are on the right path because Moody's etimi ba na Moody's nko 3 institutions Moody's aba Moody's akache say we upgrade here now it looks positive because that is the fact now they say baby a kwana yesi so no And he said now we see depreciation inflation and the air hour. Now it is telling you say no, we say nyama na be into one kana come antunu yam nyama obekra ne sa nyama nyama ni nyina no things are getting better.
Yeah, na me tie kan dey agro TV you say ebe ye hotan ye obubu asin ye record akoma. Wo se nyama be but no we be
record akoma na ye
bacho na botema. Do wa na won so aka ode. Enyoma ono feeling e na oka.
Oh yes.
Nka odi rating bi am kitaka me nam kwan enye so. Desi kwan enye so no ka na kwan ntumi nko biem. Say Moody's rating no amfa dollar na amafo mo. Enyoma na wakra no. Still sika odi yi no. Ebi kroba na dollar no. Bra okra no ba bedu no. Na akọ. Ba also say Moody's rating.
Enu ntina
Rating no kwan be na e fa so abande. Bi anka wo kan no aka so okay dollar ene wo say was 17 cities so say 15 cities. Fine. But say one so na can say in circulation there e be for say that in say 15 cities anka we na nke bia say was you in government the GDC na nke bia anka so asaki there o kan there tena about 10 cities and say about nice na say nka GDP bi wo but rating na kwa no e betumi ama the o kan say enkoyi manu wajiwatu musa
na nim time a Moody's e downgrade here ne there Ghana for GD say no kra na
since that time no say on kaso mimi nkase Ghana for nyinio de make kan say wo si ebeye na mbisa say o tie wu no ebeye no on tie nkosi breben ebeye because yan ka hwe ka say you in government MPP ni 8 year no we mu nti osi dollar e wo soro down so o tie aka tense ebeye no na mbisa say Moody's yi no de baaye no ampa ni we hu won krata so de aba de mbisa de say ebeyi no hwe nim kopem brebe na dollar no se depreciation asem no kan brebe na ebenya se appreciate dollar na bia enwuma efosu musu ye bekoyi wo kan na mem bisa asem.
Oh yes, so the time mem so bisa as a question here say ene Moody's upgrade here na the party one or say
so no kwade ye mass you Moody's upgrade there mass upgrade na nkasa ye topic in itself ye be so na baso ba ye hwe omo kire omo yi Moody's ne to nchen a eno ma ban Moody's ma na aban no toto nyoma ti nyoma ban na dwedifo omo su enhwe ni mu se ebe mo kon adwodwo omo na me hwe so mo toto nyoma ti bia wetin abone so yayewe nti o china dollar beba 9 cedis na me bi
o we bia no de meeting betna nka se dollar no beba
banse shebe no da akoma awungo betin se mo kan obi a oti awungo beta so pam no so benya didie wo won so mu
utie Dr. Baumia both solutions for the future now wakan bebre in fact waka say benya flat rates at the ports flat rates because say o fasika ekokra nioma na nioma no beba na dollar rates ahadwen na eshuti wo rate a obetua ewo port a o business ma beboka. Okay. That is how come the NPP government is preaching flat rates at the ports as part of the bold solutions for the future. Okay. Measures libini. I think I will go back and me ka say yakra niam aba emedru ya na yam crash show because when you say be abeko so and abeko form.
Yeah.
We have proposed flat rates for all port duties. And he said 40 feet container na ade ba you say 1 cedi obi order 40 feet for
be dollar be ko be aba
1 cedi. Okay. I mean that is one of the best ways to resolve crisis here surrounding businessmen importation measures ni bi no. Now minu mienu ni ya we say o man etimu a yen di dollar a yesika yesidi o ko ba bi kura ko transacting business you say bitua dollar
and we want to me say be inside because am amra ne ma ho kwan sente we want to me say masa de ni free because wo kan wa kan de say obi wo kura ne yinim say bi wo kura ne dan kura wo kwaje we US bi wa na $100 but nipa bi nso adwuma so behwe say no be free ho
nyina adwuma fine people are paid to do that work, yeah, but enim say wo ko high dine and I wo sidan say the otu a wo ska be na wo sidan
ya de me ko no
oh nyame ahwa you too je so amen na de nyame ya wi na wo sidan na say wo say chumbere me behind na onfa dollars and emra magi dan na wo so mo aban no o mo o man
but no so na me bisa say
hotels bi
ebi yes ade na wo hwe ba ko che no na wo panish anima unyini say dollar ye eno nyina aka ho na ma
dollar no
nti de ye tua ne
dollar no kra de nkosoro nim dollar de nkosoro
okay oya sure
dollar ne de dabi dollar de nkosoro dollar de ejina
say
e si di nu mom na ekofom minim so ate ase a
cedi na ekofom
dollar de so no $1 so the cedi is rather depreciating
cedi na ekosoro against the dollar
cedi
I mean bisa say na wa o kan say obi wa yitua ne ka say ohwe saade no
exactly
nti ni padodo say na punish wo saade no ho abemaja because o man mra no ehwe say omo ye de enye no ebejaye na o man no ho ato mo say obi a obi pe dollar akokra no ma na ye nti na me bisa say o ka say bi di say adwuma no de be na mo ya omo de dollar no ye ne o ma nye ne kwan paso no aban hihye be no ye be punish bi
I can say approach for Bank of Ghana who share a specialized deposit and one Bank of Ghana for some them be aba bank we say the way aba say the way aba recently more try say they were clamping down control Mrs. Ska
Forest Bureau for
abuchi for black market for
omunye Forest Bureau for
okay so you see sa measures ni bi sa drastic measures say yaba be obi gina kwa no ono seseska ono easy so betima target ntina bi recently mo yes say omo ebe clamp them down now obi ono wo say wo dan ya wo dey renting
na dey oba papa o
say no dey nkomo no chumbere ma dey nkomo ontie
ba wo do beti ya na fo ano si for na 10 minutes
you ono dey sika you ono dey sika ko si ne dan no dey ma rent eye between wo ene me am ba behind dan no it is a me man ko complain ma anko logic complain say obi asinifie o dey ma ahan in dollars the police on its own so moto entimi ma so ba be che nipa na so ba be ye enti ye akasa na ni mu ye mu di djuma no ye nim say de wo ye ne ye ba anko complain
but I'm
yet to see say obi be ka say ma sorry ma ko bia Tesano police station akọ report to Chumberima say Chumberima hotel na wasi no and Chumberima diner wasi no or they rent in dollars enti me na me complain at yankwankoche so ankwa the police on his own enti me sorry say okwakochi wo based on what
me time no me trash me di me mresin
no any based on what
ebe koni asen about time na so nti
because no lawyer ni wonim
lawyer chum
malicious prosecution force ni nyina be adwuma ko ko na dipa ka sa me kra me nka bibia sa you need the evidence say nipa na ba this is the complainant my baba come asem me ka wonim ti no osere no it's very difficult
lawyer chum be ma brem lawyer Clement medas lawyer chum be ma brem
obi isre unni njeri pese
na osre
madwen kra news ma do ni nyina mu fan sa
la tumbe ma brem fan sa
ani ma na pay
10 minutes
yen fan chi akase ma ahwefo ajibra hwe ne yen fan chi aso free ira dandomani ma hama nchen famra na de ira kan itiwa o se e betena se yi no anja yen ka ye ho se akabre kuma bi na ye kopɛ oman na ba na dani na empani se di onum tno on de nyina che no no
se be ya 10 minutes or 5 minutes ka ka sa
abani pie
mama na topic
obetimi atono anu nti ana ye de nyina che no no na ya kan se na de ese ne se ebra no so ne ekudina abato na no yewra se yemomode ane yenkai no yemfo mine tumi no enhya ne nsa na wontumi mafo mine nyina ba bia se mine gina yi
okay your campaign
na oh don't worry we should now deal with it na ya kai se ne bosha wode ya share the financial sector nei o share those in the financial sector they are struggling omo aye global access the Western Unions the MoneyGrams name them all and even the commercial banks most of them are struggling osoba and my papa mama mujuma die gina na so na de begu akwa mama na mama mujuma die na timi gina na so yi na timi fon so timi nya so mfa so
yensi kwam
ya kan sika sami na ne anu na twe ba begina ba bi ya wonam nei
yeah
owura yi se o man sika sama atape na tete apansam ne enya ne anim papa mo na ntimi anhwe anfa ya nsi kwan papa so nti ama sabi tafra champani anim mema akora kompamu a omu ntimi ne omo yenu nim paso agro se de safata if it's another share than inqua out of to hear people in the field of business operations saying this to abanya or buy and also put the best managers of the economy abanya or buy and then the vice president to me commission no outdoor the personalities who encompass what we call the economic management team. Bubodin bomb samrane de tutu bi ho to ayampia. Wan da dwene da. So sa ba we be nyamfinsia nso. Ono o hye obosa abosom bi nwotwentem 1.5 years. Ghana beda ne krabahwe. O dwene da. O ka sa wutisika so komode. Ampa. No mo o. Na ene krapa. Sabi oba ye ne sika ne ensori mfiri so na aso ye kuju te system DNS na wo mu akoba no ko ba na menu mi no ye nku bi ma ne benya bi ato no eso
onyini se agombe ohun ha nani
ha ne se do tini ja ho no se ye sisi no
obi ne business
do tini ja ho no se ye sisi no eni ha ne ye de sabi da fa one name se na $1 America tonsu we anato what the bag ha 16 Ghana cedis ni eche one name it is a name dwa wodi no sisika no de dwa ni dwetre nyina ye dollar no empem nan ya $4,000 say empem no $5,000 empem no dwa abso de mini ya kan ne the dollar is still the dollar and one nya hwe ya wodi na wodi di hia no na wuntimi ntutu nyema yie ma wodi ni nyam enya na so ahode no kura ni bi sanete so the problem is not America for no kura the currency dollar no mo is about who want me to see kasem yi amen ne no se obi koba no bedu abonten a wontimi ntwa no ho hwe me ba bodi anima bi so a kire ketu abi me nua ba ko kra de anima bi ba container ba ko ba anim na the duty no total amount here 260,500.42
container ba okay
na enema woso a ema ne bo no koduru sa enie one was say import duty 99,640 import VAT eno oboso then wasan ba processing fee or ECOWAS levy, network charge VAT, network charge COVID-19 health, and or wasan bajo Ghana Shippers Authority SNF fee, or bajo import NHIL. But
lawyer, we say a 2G near 12 my Ghana mudia. Akwa say munyina mu de ye campaign waja my man out me no patcho me.
Okay, we
waja my man out because obi abefa years back obekọ na sa list no e wo ho government ba e bi krono de bia ba be kan ye ka sisi e beto aba be wi no obi be kọ port no na sa we na na e kwa akọjije no intino aden na bia mrashi bi dwan mining sheda ntua na monamum ye goro ho ayeso my man e de omu di agro wo kan wanya list ne kama ba be abeko years back no na de yeti ho ani your port na nye free
no you can say your port no pay free but
we campaign obi e kana me ba me ye ni se but they are ready 40 ho ani
and then say the rationale behind changing government any aban for bamu ne se wo hye wo bossa e bia twumutia no twumu ye ABCD di amount me tena tsa me hwe me hu say ABCD no ye ne nye. So I have promised that when I come, I'm going to do CDEF. It will buy what's about CDEF in the amount. Nothing more, nothing less. NPP government promised us say the past government was giving us nuisance taxes. Nuisance taxes.
Come by me before.
And understand about home. We had one who was under the count when I was the people in Batch and they know what. So I know America say what wouldn't nipa ni here. The papa yi kai say won kan man ho. Wo kan man nipa ku ato ade aboso kan. omo makola omo wo kumasi adum omo central market omo wo Fentakwade central market wo mu nyina sa edikako na ekra ne mabaton nyina sam na wakama wo yo. And the evidence is clear. We know say the problem yet no a mismanagement and the abeduru. Because all managing here, I can't imagine a government or promising me say for us cedis to $1 is evil. And then under your tenure I'm buying it 16 cedis. Times 4 of the now working ones on.
But anything is the best. And maybe why the campaigns are but what your dollar, petrol, and a son your man. To say the who can see CSC. Me did say Bianca and she should be or a bit a dollar number from Dan say Rebecca say dollar no was through and I say a from.
Science is an influence and send you be on and a crowd. And she said, Papa, you did go come my dollar to me and who did so. And she said, Papa, you did go come inflation old Johnny, a man my boy didn't cost the baby phone. And never know you're never to man, I bind an idea to me a man there. That is your job, that is why they are there. Until I hear from me, Coleman Yama for Uncle be, you have from Uncle. I bind at the Nipa. Your energy minister, your agriculture minister, your trade minister, your finance minister, your BOG governor. Vice President, some perform your form of someone among us or Malaysia Casam de Diaso. It's almost to one negus, almost Yaduma. Now, how are you facing it in Koya? The problem keeps on increasing day in after day in. Not in the so the issue is very simple. You are to 110 amount. And you see, the very sad part of the woman say, the 110 man is pretty for continuation. What are you going to continue? You want to continue this worst thing that you are doing? And my bonny and we are man forcing the
be to you near West, be obi hunufu.
Now you can't know me.
So no kind of swatch and
no, but I mean he is speaking for his business fraternity.
And I'm saying business
and can open position. Maybe your phone like no businessman one and friend. Netism.
That's
open position. No young say will be young say the time I can ma you are going restrictive. Say it should be only business people we are a business friend. Na can no and no about to us money. So in the notion what are the people make an say abandon it matter on who admire because who admire came free for M16 because 4 them no what's 4 yet. So if 4 is not good you can't take me to 16 and especially we should be praising you somewhere yard you have done worse compared to the 4.
Me da say nana ya sapon abedwene nana mo akwaba ibi abokọ de
we say the tie ya fe
so the mo bom super
oh come na me who tie na me take topic na me who say no economics na na be kan was say omo bo tie de
and the mo bom super we have nana sapon special aid to Royal and Kojoche Mati movement for change na no ni nana mo akwaba mse ni de edi kan ka ho asem ye insight anim wohwe ensem a ora Asaki Awingobet eka importers and exporters eka chese dollar no how mo ama depression ni sexual weakness ni ade how mo
that sexual weakness you cannot trim say
mpem mre oye
as a meme wo mu kwati wu
depreciation depression the end one can no three yourself. Depression the end here
but you're not yet on the table of men my brother.
Edibajo na meet you what the next 10 minutes about 92 what the next 10 minutes about meet you
oh dedika meda was na macheti for me say me ba na meet Minya Clement. So you say Clement Minya.
Okay.
Minya pa.
Ona katesa manyo fo do bia no nyonku ni.
Oh Debbie. Only Minya pa.
Only pa okay.
Minya nimpo.
Eyo.
Yeah. Lo chum de. Me shows would.
Yo. And then I want to work at 70 next time bia no. Me de beto eyim. Ntimpacho meet you.
Na medical so meda was pa topic no baby okofa na ye.
Eye mawo.
Insu ato ama from Ayemre.
Okay.
So a show ani ahochire wo mu de enkofo
you told them ke ye show free from
na menya atna sa we fidi kesi so de mechia mira Alan John Kujuchramanten ye running mate Kwame Usudan so wonim say Ira Alan on nam Ashanti region
Okay.
Obo pro. Na ye fe wo ho no se asanteman agye yan ato. Na amanyo sema ye no Ghana ha. Ye wo mantem bi wo ho no mu a ye giwtum na se ye giwu nsem tum a na etse ne Ghana nyina agye wato.
Okay.
Na wonya apenya no so akọ edwom edwaso. There is a difference say ukodwom and he say ukodwaso. Okay. So no ye dem kakra. Na di ntia make us wonya sa akonya ne wonya akonya ani dwadifuo edi nkomo. Na dwadifuo nkomo di a omedidi omone no edi free petty traders eko won a omudwae nketua small scale free ho eko omo a omudi enwoma ebadwam ebetonton omo a omukra enwoma free amonani enso ediba eni ye nananom ne ye maamenom ne ye nnuama ne mema omuso omubetu koton wonya sa akonya ni sa foni na edi nkomo emrebi etwem nso kra no wokọ aboso kan okọ bebi omoye spare parts ho adwuma.
Okay.
Eni omukodi nkomo na onim so say rala no so eba edwedie hu nkomodi a Ghana de obie nim ne modern bo ene na honni a o kire free president Kufu apenso edi be sim pempenso a yewe minim se na wa hu dollar rate a
me hu ye se dollar rate na nyina fa akunti no ya na nti se wo ana
wa na pade ba china asenti
ekọ bitumi kọ soro bitumi ba form
but for the past year unim say between 16 to 16.4 there ehwa na
nti ye mfa ne 16 ye mfa
nti si ye fa ne 16 na I was say real
no dia no ya hwe
me no oh na so unim say my age more bank
baby
la sulu la ye fam bi be
Bank of Ghana website
baby a wo hwe no
Bank of Ghana website cry ken no don't worry when we look on the Bank of Ghana website ebema 15.98
na unim sa na wo be
can interbank
and we interbank Clement we say na free district be run we are na networking here Interbank, Bank of Ghana rate, 15.98. You can check it. We enye daily rate ya. About me sure say about 12 na asesa. What you say? Ansana ye wo Bank of Ghana deal. Ansana ya base oko bank. Me ba me chat at sisi a. Who raise dollar rate? Na ma me chat me bank manager na busa say me tu kwan ti me here dollar. O catch me say let's negotiate. David, say me nnuani. Say I was said be to me money who said okay the oye say why a lawyer di what you say until I was say oka asem no say Ghana for a bit no. The banks are even negotiating
for
you me can repeat you get the rate but Abochi get the dollar. Who will rate but Abochi na what dollar
Obasena lawyer Clement can say Bank of Ghana to sad and so say
I don't know what you will use but in court airport go
mi fie onim bebia metie mintimi mfantu onim bebia metie eno onim se me ba no me fa airport customs division side onim se ho ana me fa run about or by onim omuguo. You understand? There ought to be policy prescriptions to deal with the issue of the dollar, especially now that we are entering into the Christmas season. Enkofo sabe money edi nyoma aba more. Omo kra nyoma aba more no. Ebe movie from Sisia bibie wo no to a different level. Let us be realistic. Maybe na mudi nkomo bi about a housing deficit. And no, I'm just saying I'm bringing in the housing deficit because I see landlords be a charge even in dollar.
No, see any more mine or my money more.
The point is that there is housing deficit.
Appropriate authorities.
There ought to be policy in place to be able to augment the gap na at them no. Because abinu ni dying, abinu si dying. interfere eno na ma hu e kan because me
ebe me ya na sapon aban si dan but
mami emra
yes
emra ni nipa nti ne ye emra meti we mi ni dan uti we wu ni dan landlord na we si ni dan no e charge $1 o de be kwa akoma Clement o na ye charge ni hwia sidi ma no o si you mate o si papa me na ye me dan a ma mfan han biem a lawyer for me mpacho police mi chi no
so
what I'm saying is that they ought to be policies that we put in place. Say ye ko yenim no na ye hye bricks no near de ko. There are housing projects that we have abandoned them just because of our political hypocrisy.
But an yanti home floor, remember what was went to home floor. The lawyer Clement kind, baby, so me when say, oh my, and your gun uncle, man be no do baby. So many parkwans one year do a pair. Baby, America near the Indian, Oba could do baby or why. Ni penye bibi obey, bam running tia,
Obia man, ni
buying ni dentino.
Lawyer for me, no wahai. Lawyer for me, no wahai. Until I'm a question.
What's to punish you?
You push people to the wall only when you have the fundamentals right.
Minkasa.
A quite bang faso as on mine. Says I to crooning in a Yibisia.
That's what do side by side. I bind in the policy about but I don't so
yes, a Beko report and go for moon charge $1. I buy in land Casacrano Subigina Hokrano reading the budget to redeem $1. Now you are a buying in Shaya Bay, my bad report you know. I buy in dear now we are my. Okay, so Muko Bubu, a dynasty cathedral.
My boss on nothing. About
me patroso kai
ya kan gina
wunim say yeah kwa pay baby foforo ahan ma charge for no I don't know if you can check, you can google it about $1 no more I did you say
now what's it no good at
what you say so what I'm saying is that in as much as we want to deal with the situation when we are not dealing with the fundamentals you better betina ha side design komo ya. But it is the lack of political will. Some people are benefiting. These political parties are benefiting from the sufferings of Ghanaians. What be sawomo? Say sheye ben no mo dia to ho. The omo kaso senior the flat rate but ubi so say what are the periods
in 2025 say a basse omodi nkunima.
A brand ye wum sesi ana say wum kina
ba say the kind na me kasa
and am say brand ye wum sesi ana ye wum kina
according to Awungo bet you wum sesi a
inti asem a me ne wo kan and say if there are any policies in place na present government ye ebe ma ye prescriptions minya malaria na abo ne
timba try na the one who see from na ya
kwa that's me dey interject me be
kasa be 15 minutes
send there na there o kan sa
we kasa na me
prevent ba to me na kan say say nko won nko na
obidi asem a me kan say o fa a great transformational plan na you were Alan edi atudwa you were Asante hene opimso eni mpenifo bebre akenkan omo se enum na Ghana sachira ye wo no wo say okay, page 17 that talks about lower taxes and duties because you see a kwe $1 ye need to control your taxes and duties there say also control here Alan say to achieve the lowest rates in the ECOWAS sub-region let's just say by a port we are putting in policy prescriptions that would help us achieve the lowest rate. Now there are a lot of nuisance taxes away your system including e-levy or
Parliament. No, trade minister.
Oh, binya. Alan, your trade minister, and on your finance minister.
That's
taxes. Tax regimes are not prescribed by the trade and industry.
But
we only make arguments on behalf of traders. It is the, of course, he did.
Okay.
It is the responsibility of the finance minister to push these agendas.
Okay.
And it is the responsibility of the chairman of the economic management team, in this case, Alaji, to be able to handle this.
The very confident.
And you but you know it is.
Mama na ria na time
the finance ministry Juman say.
Is it about the
so why do you?
Is the finance ministry about the
That is the trade minister. The trade minister is so if that is the case, then the trade minister is equally part of.
But I told you here, say the trade minister would have pushed because
as I'm not saying who cancel man. What
Clement.
And why and said I'm found because or don't know Akumunti. Really doesn't know.
But they are vice president county. Oh,
exactly. The same thing that trade minister also count. Finance minister can
a district assembly member in your assembly can go and go wrong, and the blame will come.
No, 1 minute.
It is not working. So you blame the vice president.
That is not true.
That is not true. But
we person Clement TRC. There was what TRC and say assembly member or one a district. To me, and so assembly member need to me insane.
Okay.
And TRC also no. You were trade and industry minister then, Alan Chamanten. No to me. The to me and as a ministerial power, where Obitimi making proposals, and of course, Alan as trade and industry minister, Alan as a member of the economic management team then made certain proposals known. What you say, Sebu, and you need bit media about 12 but the person me say, it's about taxes and duties are a revenue. Revenues are handled by the finance ministry. And when proposals are made, it is the responsibility of the EMT. See, the American say, as EMT, the DMT media like the shame on person of all my sa proposals you. What you say? Say oba obeye. And I'm say to me no. Ye di bia ma.
Also any nyina na ochoba
let it be placed on record say said the trade minister ewo to me na no to me no kopem baby no. Said the finance minister ewo to me and to me kopem baby no. Said also vice president ewo to me so ekopem baby.
Oboa.
What are the roles specified for the vice president in the constitution? You only act in the absence of the president, and when the president
and take any other
Are you telling me that vice president
ministerial powers?
Vice president
ministerial powers.
Vice president need 2 years and also copy.
Vice president executive powers.
The vice president
or the president no bibi kitwa bi the dominant.
He is the vice president.
In the absence of the president, it is the president, it is the vice who acts. What Clement should understand is that
when it comes to
ultimate
the president himself said that he knows he can do it, ultimate responsibility.
The very final statement.
The very final statement. The vice president acts in the absence of the president.
And that's other roles that are assigned to him by the president.
Are you taking the he has a limit.
Yera Alaji Baumia. And San Yebe nominated in 2007. Amana be running mate. Your man penny out then candidate. Emma Yang yet say. One of the say basic assembly economics dia. One of the akakakra. Na emrasam inti sikasem any side money die. Enunti na woko Bank of Ghana. Okoyi Yera Baumia. Say wombra. It's at the end of the day. It falls. It falls with him.
And as upon Matthias, yen to us. Lawyer Clement, here next topic. Yamia Parliament as sign Eric Conveni, Msombeko International Conference because renovation being CCB because and you know, ye share from a good year and who she share Mukwaku and ni Omunkudu or crown and Yemibia. minority no Haruna Idrisu former minority leader raise say emra no mu no se nipa ebi e wo parliament na se o stand independent o stand independent e wo say o declare an stance e de mi bisa ne se unyi ni se de o ma sha ase eno kwa ko buy time galamsey stop bi amra no kra no short time o ma from here kwa ko take it your time yen hwe sanse mini amra o person mo ko yifi ho na kwaye aye se no na de ewura Haruna Idrisu start raise mo ekwa kwhia the next 10 minutes mbacho meetio
Parliament there almost say they are masters of their own rules. And maybe I know mark to me question mumra. Na until recently Supreme Court to me pronounce on some of their standing orders near the Nanka court to cry into me cry enko take into me omo and some no what's baby I say omoya oma we omo efade na minim memtie Haruna na menka se mintie no on this ona or report ama me sanka mitimi enya be at the okay na mitimi kan ya na aboa me in my discussion because minim whether he is referring to their standing orders and I said the constitution na okay like I said I didn't listen to him you know mean to me who's baby I will try
no one me no okay say on kan was any problem
no 94 no, it's important. It is important we discuss it. Okay, qualifications and eligibility. Okay, you know.
So he was making reference to some persons within your party who has declared to go independent.
Okay. Our picket forms.
Exactly. So whether or not they should still hold on to their office or not.
Okay. All right. So, a matter of legalese. So here, I did say, Mame fa a example for me.
Yeah.
Honorable second deputy.
Yeah.
Etiama. Bra ye mu bi enya intel so ono na beko on our ticket no. Na our contemplation was na CCA say it will ya for me na ya primary so.
Yeah.
So ya for me na ya primary so.
Yeah.
Because ya primary time ya primary is almost a year now. Yeah. Anka Etiama will be forced to declare
to step down and declare city vacant.
What I say because you say no join a political party. And the Abasa the seat to be declared vacant.
One year independent be.
Exactly. Yeah. If you declare it vacant, as a beer, I was say who a Siamano. He said no what can't the MPP who independent be you know. Even though still I'll be work with the majority side because so no chooses on the majority no and the be a juma. But Abasa na the legal tassels be any manoma eba. Yes, I am but minimara say if like a month Haruna is a lawyer and he's playing it so smart here because on car say you declare seat vacant because you can say you declare seat vacant the point is it's less than 6 months to elections you don't even run it by elections so now the argument from the
argument ne say omo declare on stance of parliament say ne omo kan majority one omo ye independent
and say independent member of parliament papa second deputy speaker obaye no also one majority na be adwuma to be abaka majority ho ani ne adwuma and he say obi wo everyone say who again is contesting independent so far me share that who
obi Morrison
over say court injunction no na really
Suhum
so you fight the Suhum case no any example
about 3 or so
yes
okay say 4
I know of St. Morrison and Suhum but St. Morrison and the mechanical graphic who say the court to be injunction so we cannot speak to that now young Suhum so independent or filing the nominations in the BPR now how you know some no can simple and yet also may declare say when I saw what but that's only majority no be juma and I said because now it came to parliament on the ticket of the NPP and the NPP now form a majority meaning what I say it is still in parliament now or a MPP member of parliament it doesn't it's also
question I maybe say I'm a lawyer for me aboy and say your parliament akofa forms by ento aba maame ye to aba ma wi na o declare stance na se mra ne se wo ye bibi fufuro bia na ayi wa fi bia wo no
asem no kwa uzi say Parliament no
well say ma de ni ato ama no abedru ho
for a period of time until 7th January 2025 members of Parliament who ya baby ugina na ho na ugina baby ugina no e ho na ugina so enti because you are nominating Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as the vice presidential candidate of the NPP. Just one member of Parliament.
So the party now nominating to that who
member of Parliament.
Different.
No, he went to Parliament on the ticket of the NPP. It is a whom case or Parliament as NPP's member of Parliament. He had to Abaman was whom. So until the 4 years no ebe elapse no. He is still the NPP's member of Parliament. And now sir, on what Abeka say, my resignation letter. And the MPP, Juma me dato. Say me the MPP, MS whom phobia.
Says seat now vacant.
Exactly. Says I don't see Senior Harun's argument.
Okay.
Because the Parliament is for a period of time. Means what you say? For 4 year mandate in the amount. It's from 7th January 2021 to 7th January 2025. Until say obi ebia wayare serious to me nya adwuma no no abe resign and I say ono aka say o sabi ewo so ba na say nipa no efiri mu dia fine but say nipa no to Parliament no say or call dia it is not that is how I see it
omo frɛ sɛ omo comes article 248 or so omo kwa kwhwɛ no mo amende se ne be ya ye mine wo ye forest zones ni ade no eno ebe free ho no ye hwɛ ho nso kakra because eno ntina omo kɔ no makwa kwhye
airline na establish o mine team no bibia e de mra ena eye sebi udin eni mado no kura daw so no he mra ena manage say ye wudi se mra nta akira enya adwuma now Parliament I reconvene say obo business but me nya sure say ye one agenda one item agenda ntina edi wo mo eba maybe several other businesses are ebebo among we now airline establish say ebetimi aye mining ewo yen forest reserves mune other places no organized labor through omo leadership I say abandon na on revise and I say on withdraw sa on revoke that airline no na obi owo forest zone mu bia ye adwuma bia no ye maninjai now the question is ye wo large scale mining companies omo no already no omo ye adwuma dada omo wo forest mu how do we draw the lines obi at least minimum there were half way they say half mining Newmont is in the forest reserve omo ye adwuma are we going to revoke the license of Newmont emra de ye adwuma now emra no so say yenko now president through the attorney general eko revoke sa airline na revoke airline we are lawyer for momra ye can say law emra nya retroactive entimi take retroactive effect say bia enkonachi no how is it going to be applicable in this case because so this baby say Newmont your man license we now can say for forest zone with revoke yensa anko ma you go channel license man I mean these are the legal year also starting here journey ho na you how best I betimi I resolve it actually because anyway I hear ya a lot of controversies ne no manioma ebebebe o manum tie let's draw the lines very well
you know mo ko Parliament because ya de na say ya de ade ama se koye say do be bia even Parliament plan koye ni maybe say man penny to the to me our man de ama na kasa say we eni yenye ni sei said ye odi ni tumi ama asrafo so omko said tumi no ana so hwe na se mra bia ya hye ntina Parliament di bia na mra bi o massacre mu no nti ye betena ho se ye de amani paranda dentino say ade kura yenhwe
no we can say I mean there may be
ade kwenti o kasa ne ye damage a ye mining in our forest zones no ye county ntina ye intino see your corner say large scale miners no miners no crowd no say still
and them headache I
don't know yen kan ho asem
nti yeah so a lawyer for angle no say so kan wa kan ba ko ba wo hwe side argument bia na two sides
me who the other side say the other side who can one side ntim na me so ma kan other side no so who can one side say then say enko for how ma na me so be bisa say ya di amano say bia na adwumanti e ba sa ya gene license afini nsem ya gene adwuma afini nsem e bisa so say be ku ye nyina so afi wiase a ye man nto aso
no far from that I mean I think say the mechano it's a good policy na ban na dia ba say enko withdraw so yema parliament but advice na me dey man say we should look at it from both sides how best so we say who revoke airline now what is the way forward ye be any then what goes into omo already no ye dey am omo dada no how are we going to get them back them off from the forest and also another leg of the year or say for after we no you who said ye be no me yenya hu I was saying details of what is in there the ages ekwakoka oh amaye na yenyira hu ebeboa in the discourse moving forward because nyasa one here now you be na akwese kwasiko zo gina kwantia na nyasa ne kano now so you give orders that you cannot even enforce that is another point in so let's look at that
you didn't come off baby I'm so can say na article 94 no dia say 94 G or so 97 G ne say party na what the core no say ujai ekofa bibi fofra say we party na to no say o party na to abama on e de ko mra bedwam no say o sakre mu ko ye ko dwane party fofra na say o seat no u sakrem equal stand on different ticket that's why independent no in parliament nya dia utumi da ho ekura ti yen share ho no so
no this argument came up ebra esiama
dia no we fi parliament to all but not the independent never but when do omo te ho na ticket of MPP
me nua lawyer ni you say the constitution already just one leg of it. It's a whole. You say if it be sus generis.
That's all kind Bible no.
Also okay only one part. Now the argument. There's another part that will also counter your argument. This make us say the CMS case is also an example. When the CMS was elected on the ticket of independent, said he's going to join the NPP. This same argument about say that's how I say we free
any option at parliament but the independent ni be do ha say samia e be to samia and the parliament never want say option na say parliament two halves
yes
parliament two halves
majority and minority as an independent candidate as an independent MP
yes
you have a responsibility to belong to one
nti someone the independent na buy nti be draw no be say obekọ and no two majority but we do omo wo hodada and no stand independent and am say so yes sir o party na wo no we from on the floor of parliament no said the chance na
we decided where you want to belong
yes
something happened before Esiama went for independence
yes and you when
and you say you say no parliament for as NPP
yes
and we could declare so
independent what I say
no no general secretary John na dem
Bodu e ka say
speaker say one dismiss no
yeah me kai say
speaker cause ultimate dismiss
and you know the ruling that came and to make one say the Siama
yen to aso
Ghana your practicing system be a
Ghana parliament ni yen to aso
precedence it yes you know oh yeah they see that no one we can so the SMS argument
the time nti yama we into aso do ana o dey afra
the SMS argument comes to play here because the Siama parliament as member of parliament representing a formula on MPP ticket and declare core independent now go here what do you mean can't say papa or suhumi and declare so independent because the CMS principle should be applicable here.
That's yen to aso lawyer me ma show 10 minutes na yen to aso
baby American or okay no I can say be earlier was say emra no you have to take it as a whole
exactly
fan party because it's often a party there.
Yes, also baby. Also from baby.
So in the same way, I have to have the man say, "I want to know how far as a whole, not partly."
When there's been a pronouncement,
was there a pronouncement?
President, and as a speaker, I want to be
I'll let you know whether or not there was a pronouncement. This whole argument is about the constitution.
Okay.
And as you rightly stated, another cited near Article 97 of the Constitution, 1992 Constitution, and 97(1)(G. 97(1) Nankasa head in here say a member of parliament shall vacate his seat in parliament if any of the things here let's say wanna see this year. So A to H. Now G and I we didn't also do any argument. And the G is obviously if he leaves his party, so if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of election to parliament.
Yeah. And okay?
So to join another party or seek to remain in parliament as an independent member. Okay? And the argument in here say, "Oh, back parliament now you're then. Maybe as NDC, maybe as MPP.
Yeah.
Now, what declare say, "Oh, free side party."
I join a party for
join a party for now say, independent. So, Sadia will be seer. It can say, we sit near declare vacant.
Can H no? Can H?
Can H? The same thing. The
same thing.
The same thing.
Clement on no front.
He was elected as a member of parliament
as an independent
candidate
and joins a political party.
Either way.
Is it that way?
Revised way.
Yeah. You said you can't stop MVP.
Outside parliament they were standing in parliament.
But now there are people who have done it official. Okay, and now how you like I say, you better call it on the speaker to bring his interpretation
of this
to this
because he was standing on the sword.
But you and I know that interpretation of the constitution does not lie in the mouth of the speaker of parliament. You know,
but they have a standing order they work with.
So he can interpret the standing orders.
So now, I'm reading a story by Joy Online. 17th October 2020. And the Orkan was it Speaker of Parliament pounding over declaring Formena constituency seat vacant. It was the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has stated that the decision to declare the Formena seat vacant after the MPP party expelled Andrews Amakwa Siama is still under consideration.
Good. Okay.
So what I say? He didn't make a pronouncement.
Okay. Into where can make a pronouncement?
When can make a pronouncement? Or essentially, honestly, can say, honestly, he's pounding over right.
So he's going to make pronouncement based on the constitution.
So if it is based on the constitution, the constitution is loud and clear. So now you have ambiguous. If it's ambiguous, it's ambiguous. Further and better interpretation.
So you take it to the
topic we can be.
Hold on. Now,
Memanu 2006.
Now,
what you saying? I don't know a clear example of what you're saying.
So,
I don't know one castle of offering baby our tea and on Nantico baby MPP for and no cottoners across the carpet. Wow.
Okay.
But so when you so yes sir.
Anyway,
and you what you saying in Sunia Benya.
And empty. Assembly nani. Honorable Haruna Kasano. What say? Me share video now. I watch it. Me share about 3 times. Until I can make I say. They are going to call on the speaker, or they are going to invoke the powers of the speaker to give an interpretation to the ACM. To say you are members of parliament. You are MPP before now. Now so one could declare someone could independent.
But interpretation of what? Interpretation of what?
Relax now.
The constitution.
On the constitution, and
you cannot interpret the constitution.
Hold on.
And number 4 can. The speaker cannot interpret the constitution. He doesn't lie in his mouth.
I'm not saying that the speaker can interpret
exactly.
the constitution. How did he make reference to the speaker interpreting the constitution? Was it their standing orders?
Okay, if
that is standing
orders, then we have no problem.
Relax now.
Yeah, Clement. Class school.
Now, the question is, what does their standing orders also says?
Do you know what the standing order says?
Okay, standing orders, does it permit a member who came to that parliament on a political party's ticket to cross to a different line? If the answer is no, then something must happen. Because somebody or some people have taken that step of which is against that standing order.
To say no, it will lie on the mouth of
the speaker to make a pronouncement. Exactly. I'm going to call on him. You are going to call on the speaker. Let them call on.
Now, quick information. As I say,
information
now they are okay. They can okay. Now, the information the man say Parliament you need independent caucus.
Oh, I'm not even saying that. But
anything as our pronouncement now say about say what independent here. When
it comes to doing your business in Parliament, that is where an independent member need to associate with one of the caucus.
Say 2 halves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they say independent they will have to declare one of the caucus to be with.
Also,
but now it's not about where they will sit to do their business. It's about their status.
Where they will be
as members of Parliament. And when the line on for us by assistant. And it's not where you sit to do your business.
That's it.
Okay? So where you sit to do your business now, that's the other people. Nobody have any issue with it.
That's it. Yeah.
But if you decide to also, it's a one answer. Now the issue is we set us now by an assistant. It is a sign.
Parliament.
Your mouth coin sector, and I say your mouth coin. That is why they said they are going to invoke the House of the Speaker to give an interpretation.
The president,
and I believe in the Speaker. I believe in the Speaker. I know the Speaker.
I've been prejudicial.
No, I'm not being prejudicial. I said I believe in.
When you court, where Parliament Speaker crowns are being numbered. You can the amendment.
I just said I believe in the Speaker.
Okay, you.
I just said I believe in him. That's all. Now the issue of whether or not people should continue to operate on some mining forest
zones.
I mean. Sabita fracture. Till where the grand till dinner that's
forest.
Reserve. As genocide.
Exactly.
Now there was a nyansa mu ni ndiemu ye nyanto for a purpose. E be bo mining na da achi o.
Mining so na share gas en kutu.
You see, this is where we have problems with. Ade anya ye nto so. Bible says you have position boni. To won Bible say bibi wo ho na nya. Why anything officer buying beer person you amendment of most of our laws and even sometimes the constitution. So what I say, it should continue to be for the forest reserve, and nobody should be allowed to go into those areas. And why?
But not like so case one man license that until no basa by who could carry fufu na man na say because on the say one man to me so nyeg mafi.
Yeah, check his alliances near the Mawa. Because I'm alliances. Anybody has our
passport crying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anybody else say the amount to know. Once I'll be doing something there, you may well name because I am right. You didn't ask me a demand. It's who you're born yet. We can't say that because anyone and none of you video about be here now. All cast will tremble. Kaswa kwanisi do hu weja dam no and gradually or no case we change color. And I think there was a news report on it also over the week. I almost can say it change color because some say I think say either days or one of the rivers not connected to that river. I mean, say cost yes I did not be anything. Wouldn't the people one can have one source of having water into their homes so through that dam. And can form to end to Galamsey.
Accra West in the most.
Exactly. And but the majority of the residents in Accra are going to suffer because of somebody's negligence.
We can't continue to endure this thing. The law must be revoked and every time they can have your operating or self-forest zones, you know, any water areas now should be asked to leave. And I'm told that they are doing military deployments. If you have Santa Regina.
Yeah. Oh, my dad. So last week in a start.
One question Santa Regina.
But who said,
oh, my goodness, now you took a say, one pan a new power. Eastern, Western, Ashanti. This three.
Eastern, Western.
This regions, same regions are Galamsey, no, power.
So central.
But okay. The West ones, and Western, Ashanti, Eastern.
Yeah.
And the horse in so do not so now, you body a tinny that if you understand the number. And the notion that Galamsey at Tiatipa.
Okay.
So if say and yet not a dear. Yes, when you say now, Bremo cock, one cock, Pra, they go be a cordia.
They were women in Chile.
So what I say, I mean,
because when I'm East, Central, West.
You see?
Yeah.
East, Central, West.
Yeah.
And you know, they say, East, no, Buburia, West, no, Yamutu, one,
they were women.
Just a
Pra, Offin. Offin, so Namashanti, Central, Western.
This reverse, and make those days bring. Who come from now about to make body harbor. No afford some way be say I in the same. At the same when you get me.
No, I won't to me.
Why? Who got him doing it? Hospital be any kind of
I was it. As in why I'm not testing is that I think call no matter. I die. And I thought I was to attend you. I think that a bold decision must be taken. Stop this thing because you can and then I say or transfer and so anything what happens in the barrier. And nonsense you to expose Ghana for more. And as a patch of them now, young share a what's it when their own can be. Or say independent
we train
Parliament.
I would try to speak.
Honorable right.
So it means you also believe in the speaker.
Oh, Obediagro. There was a TRC and they they are two distinct arms of government.
Yeah, separation of powers.
Bakwe legislation and bakwe judiciary.
Bakwe executive.
Bakwe executive there. Inti asemo making
into a judiciary legislature.
Inti speaker there. Ne standing orders are the na parliament. And na odi bi diagro. Hono dini hini.
Okay.
The number 3.
Number 3 what was
what's your number 3?
What's your number 3?
Ghana. Now the FO Hono say we have a lot of authorities. Cases are a bit made a diagro kakra. And I mean kind of from 2006 how do we see but a bear me din kakra because so Cynthia Morrison were filing as independent candidate we file
but then the
court so qualify
court
yes and I'm making the injunction is not to carry herself as an independent candidate now, but not to say easier but disqualified. But the assembly that
yeah.
Media, I think the last week time was information minister at the SAS statement number 2 abontia. I think it's a 0.2 second paragraph no say no. Now or say in October say Parliament resume. I think on one of the stations networks make a statement to say we do not have to sit and you see it's now Emma Parliament resume answer. So Parliament it may call it Parliament Emma Omoba on emergency on the certificate of agency Emma Omoba ebe approve loans. So more talkers near the this thing that has to do with national security. I always say it has to do with national security. It's a national security threat because it has to do with our water bodies.
Yes, a life no.
Assurance Committee of Parliament. Okuja to Black Committee.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. So the number of water bodies are display.
Yeah.
about 12 was a 13 ni nyina no 11 of them nyina na say. And these are the same water bodies a feeding into Ghana Water Company Limited. Omo machines omo a purify emayenom edidi edwuma. And one ekuafo ema netene eku efuofuo ema mu digu ye no mayeso. And one ye cattle animal farm omo ye animal farms and sansu ya no de ma emoi momo no.
Yeah.
Nti otin crying. Na okasi yenko nkra na simum ena enko ye demonstration na me de omo kansa no me de me ni omo ya adwen omo ya ade nyame nhira won se aduane no menya se yekọ makola dwom na si yana kanishi dwom na si yekọ akoto a yekọ ye friend zen okueda dwom e wo sunwan na yekọ akoto enumaye na e wo ho na ye ntworo engusu se we ye nkranfo dia na we asante region dia na we eastern region dia ye to emi nyina ibiti
na ne me kwae ko ye video bi wa asanwe so en ma no body obi si me konkran obi si me kotakrade obi si me di kokko
say body krona enye kuro ba ko na ni enye galam say kuro na enye no ane zanso no bia na edigu so at the end of the day intimi de omo nyansa dose bebrebe na omo ka say ye nko sa nkrase no enko ye demonstration ni de ye de nyame do mas but I am happy de ye me de wo ho no say ye hunu say ehu hia nti ye wo say ye issue certificate of agency ema parliament esabetena se me de ba ko a e wo say making it clear ne say de Ghana fo nyina eka with one voice and say sa ally no aban yesrew parliament yesi yifri ho yenka so kosesem oh there is a difference between say yesi kosesem
any ko yifri
ho
okay so money
how do you even
small scale
think
how
do you me who said the may explain e ba ne sign what dash twini ho aso ho da ye say ye nanom forest reserves or modia maye kwaya ye ja to ho say ye mbo ho ban ne no so mbo ye ho ban ye nkom ne nkutu foma gudie wo ho ne enko say no onim se sa amrai sa obi dwene ho ena obi nya sa kukuduro se Kakum National Park utimi nya kukuduro eda sori didi fauka ko office
am say to me
ko tripen ne paper etro ko ma minerals commission say o ma ho kwan se ko Kakum National Park me de mi swami yini na mo mi ko school srim na ye ba excursion wo Kakum National Park
but to be fair with to attorney general no letter no the coin no see revoke.
Okay.
I've not had the privilege to it's supposed to be revoked because that thought no friends say intent even the intent of it should be criminalized. The intent
red zones
you see those red zones should be marked. Then Nana make us say
it has been marked already.
Soja need red zones. Soja need penny be my interpretation on why it is not necessary to declare a state of emergency in those areas near there. Then I make bro for me bisa na say. Inti Ghana ha afa ni e ba betena si akohwehwe baby a red zones no wo.
No, we know that already now.
Let us not be hypocritical about it.
And I can tell no can the Guinea was a red zone. It didn't know the area until I think to hold this forest reserves
the government
private water bodies what I say and back be me share one of the networks I may banana monitor me share school be
and yet good
oh and the Ghana achi be me ayeko ya me call Korea say from Nsabrekwa wa Asankregwa okay I saw that Adekye no mo
back be a police for responded to almost a police station
and
police station
and Ghana police
almost my respond they say it is 800 meters away. I'm still looking for the response.
hwe nyinam baby ensu na na baby na we sa de
and yes it is not the distance.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is that district commander, regional commander, IGP, what ho I catch them say
go to
5 miles away from the police station. You want to defend the fact say description no more can say a police station next no entesa
na it doesn't and no police never na channel
inti question me busa ni say inti district commander no inti not no office na say ohu se nkofo no etu a otimi hye ni yufo pass atena say ehwe wo mo any almost say
I saw me say men say men
why do we do this to ourselves? Adena
so disheartening.
I know na Alan Tremantin ni press statement on Galamsey no meaning press conference
10 steps no. Okay.
Oh, see, you need a clear cut. You need a visible, achievable, clear policy prescription towards achieving what we want to achieve.
That's it.
Okay, also number one, let us ban all whether small scale or galamsey activities across board. Why is he saying this? I was here chiri. Your water bodies no na essay. Ensuo no omo ye activities na essay ensuo.
Yeah.
Say ye jaya within 1 year no with proper technology. Ensuo ni nyina betimi asafa no ntoma pefra. We will because ensuo bia heals itself. Yeah. What you say? In addition to your technology, we employ to help. I mean, one.
So, deputy, last minister about the free west or example.
Duka.
Duka was 3 months per umbetum.
No, ensure there. No, machines, no. Machines, we destroy them, I agree. But here, Alan, we demobilize and take audit of these machines. Why do we say this? The excavators, once we demobilize these machineries, now government proper audit is taking over of this machinery, sir. Say enkofo no kura ye wie na indeed omo ni licenses. Indeed processes omo fair more because step 3 no is for us to audit all the licenses that we have issued. E ho na me nwan mi brofonomanti ase no. Omanti ase because
kwa umu time aso.
Dey time aso dey person me try say.
Go catch a lawyer say what
oh, na say your brof bia no lawyer ni ti ase. Legally we acquire license no. But the procedure or the acquire license ne bia na atochima. Two, emra no so license na ekura no e wa expiry date. E bi kura na license na ekura no a expire. What you say? License no
revoke the expiry ni revoke the one day.
The point is that you need to audit it. Audit you will be home cry. Audit
license steps now can you letter now can
and then I mean the two ones no say as the munchiri
steps are more be taking now
okay so they read the letter. They did not understand the spirit behind the letter.
That's it. Your fancy here. Like
one bogu. And again, and then over one crowd.
Clement. You have Moody's. The Omudi
area mechanics you.
Clement.
And Moody's in a positive.
I suppose I killed over there. We know.
You better Moody's for us. You see, NPP as a government, maybe I can say, Obi at the findings about, we appreciate it and we take them in good faith.
Whether good or bad.
Oh, of course. And no
police sending me WhatsApp or see GGT police station cases is worse than the Ninem one.
Okay.
No, police bonus where
so that for the kwa
say we did the findings bar, research findings for the bar. you take them in good faith, either bad or good.
Yeah.
It is all right. In the beginnings, no. Omudi kama yenya almost started free CA. Neba CA 2 and about CA 3. I just say your boy home modern per year. And the more can you na before we come this no one you na ne say. En kaneno na enhyeda nyesa but se say there so do mu Ghana no Ghana na si kwantene no so Ghana na si kwan papa no so kwan na ye ne yesi so enti businessmen eye binua asaki a wingo bet mo nsem na mo ka no omunya arehemu se no Ghana na si kwantene no so goes o mama positive man kasa I'm a positive man. So we say me but we say
America sintiko
enti o minor here chichire no in terms of our finances and I mean the economy properly so called is a Ghana SC a continent no so a ye ko enye te say the etwam no because the way is clear e kwan no mu adaho enti bia enioma na esisi akwan aye osi akwan na ma businesses into me kwa mpj omumu ye na bia obi we sorry na o say okoton enioma we na oboka wo mu sa na manioma nse nye wow negligence pa dia that's a the management of the economy what Moody's is saying before we be try any kind upgrade no there I just said now we are on the positive line we are on track yebu o mine ko ntibo afo ni nyina no enye
ba we dey tell na misa say wo hwe Moody's nsem ya mukan a nyina ye debt negotiation no ne ade aba bed ni bi ni ade ko but debt ni bo ye na nim say ye push ya konchen kakra wo time a ye be start e na obi an so hwe a say de ye ka no ye hwe de say figures ne be back say okay so what Moody's aba be kan ye hwe ne say okay na me kwa akosesa dollar na se me kwa akodi dwa menya figure be very reflect sampa enioma yi we did so just a bed in every abine so for a period be no ye mose
oh say so far as say positive burden as a bibi na sense abine kum free abine kum na positive also
push ya conscience china na me
no say free kum nko ade a also ebosi because sa ahon ha na ahon hare na aba no sa stress me no high no
okay
the one high no e je say obenya bre e dey bibi foforo so e dey aboa e say wo ne wo ma e di fie mu je wo university for amakwan untia hostel untia school fees na say primary school for wo primary school wo ko school this kan ba ko bibi foforo e sa na tie amamuo no sa e say dameto no wo di we ko sha na du abesha na du abasa na e be bom miensa na ma oni so
ahwe so ani etwa akwa akro
oh we no say it also see ye nti em to say dey to that mini ye no na Moody's for say no the way I ko dey obi antimi ntie kwakwa na say but ye bom ye be ko na see akro ayi akro ma say be betimi akro no ho
okay lawyer so
you see
where we
oh se bibi fufu bia me bom dia
we any topic e dis where we dey
so bibi bia me bom dia
topic bia no biem ti se where we are
so bia
mi sa we biem
any say asem bia ma bia
me bi sa question mi sa question but where we are na ma dey time dia mo be
na me say bibi me bom be here explanation here but so far so
economy wo no sa ko
also wa mo na kuti ade o manti mba
to you can say
ya kana for mun tiase economy ni ya ko sa ko na ya ko se ya
there be o
we yo bra
o kan say oni obi na to da me
ya ya o se economy ni na o to se
ebe bo anu mo no mo be nya
economy ni wo se se da me
also no no shise de Moody's kan say shise na ebe bo
economy ni wo se se da me no
okay kan
wo se se sa na ona wo ka kire ne se ntene so hwe na ma kwa ndem ni akosa kwa sinse na ya wo hu ne se ntene na ya ho de me se
yi ya sana kan
eno
enima no zibo me
this for propaganda there
enima no zibo
asemu
na we hade o asema ya kan ne se na wa abusai o man no obeso mu no na Ghana ye debt sustainable as Jen say ye the car it mutua inti kabia na ye di before say wo be di amamuo no epita ye no na ye mutua ka in fact I can you tell me dumpo na tia ba kumpo na at least yet near den ye tia bi wo be so mu nei no wa bro besia gusua menna ya badu ba bi ye ntimi ntwe kai de so Ghana is moving from debt sustainability now to an unsustainable debt country.
Basa no wakwa negotiate ya.
Then why?
Oh, could negotiate ya.
The why you say
Bank of Ghana.
Ani mi nyabotre. The why you say we say Brahma boy no. And number of papa making the tia me hoka. Enti aka na nka wo be jefu mi nchen nyi mfi mi wani mu ani mba na wa jefu ani mu nchen. Asam ni nan no. Eti wo kan wo so and na wo tumi ntia sika bia mo bia wo. Wo ni sika. Tikani na ndezi aso
association of my scan be cry their chain.
Oh, and the question say you dey.
That's what.
Finance minister na no beka we say you can here 745 billion. Offer 122. Enti aso atie ni bia from na chi na 745 billion. Enti when we dey koyi no. Offer kwesi be papa bia so. Ghana is still a debt unsustainable sorry, we are still debt yetimi sustainable and about a kind of one. So now no you the kind of media.
As you in space, I don't call sika kutua ye kan. Enya space. Finance minister opportunity.
Space in yeti. IMF say free sabria kopin 2026. Ghana ntimi nkwaje besia bi adri 500 million. 2026 ana yebetuma kwaje 500 million. And after that, ni ana yebetuma ko $1 billion debt. Sorry, loan. The German. It's a name, so what can say the audio do the country.
But internally,
we still can't pay our debt, and we're not paying our debt. But we're paying before you came to government. As some question before you came, we were paying near the car near to meet you. You don't see somebody in the now you have a cap beyond 2 years. So and then under but there's a cap on them. We didn't have any cap.
Uko IMF said on
but IMF what is it? Sika me akwaje no about 70% came under their government. Plus almost dia omo dia akwaje. Kofa COVID by sika omunya eka ho. Hwe loans a omaje, hwe grants omunya. Kan ni na bo na hwe. En na dia dance say ban we sika wonya echa ban bia obesen kro. But we should ma so we sika ban bia obesen kro. And none of those that is a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. Yeah. The plan for good jobs.
I said the minister I can say.
Now come from Obi. The one answer to Ghana. What's the minister? Cameras when the one
finance agric minister one of the days was say on my short time made food aduane bo be.
And I'm saying I'm in charge. What you mean? One now was so good number Mr. Pesa from American UTV. At the cameras come from Eco Chaba. The only young yes, then I don't say
we a newspaper.
Okay,
where are you? Over echo to the American. That's what I do. Started under free yakutu. It will quite good nearby. Says your phase 2.
Phase 1 phase 1 grab about you have phase 2.
Phase 1 so open some phase 1 aduane it say ebroniamo e bae ade a me feel say abani failure say na ne kora no yankora ne yi
nti we say you are planting for food and jobs. The literal meaning is said, who could be in buso?
Yeah.
A buswa one. Also, open baby, the access na yet ministry and a best.
And what baby I'm say
number 2 is say a buswa never born nothing. But under this government, they are the highest food inflation in Africa, Ghana. Under them. So about the same was it 2022 also. Check it. Check. No,
even
check. I can check it. Ghana declared as the highest food inflation. I mean, what was there?
That one the two.
Oh, number 3.
O source.
No, this was my own some person. Let me check it.
And if for the same more creative, you know, got now this.
Oh, so the Obia Maya.
Obia.
But what say unim say omo no your farm.
Aba.
Sauce.
We can make camp here. We are 10th of July. You are going to put it, but we should not go to World Bank or say Ghana ranks in 6th in Africa with the highest food inflation. Number 6 in Africa.
Because I think the whole what's the highest in Africa? I feel also 6.
Number 10.
First. I feel about 6.
And Ghana ranks first with the highest food price in Sub-Saharan Africa.
Sauce here then.
Hold on, I become another Uzana.
Sauce here.
Then I was. I didn't know what so just was saying was also. Yes also was.
Really enko.
Omo pick free here.
What was also no
pick free. And I say that's what to be chere bibi. Na bibi na say no kre. You fa bibi say.
The me kind of say Ghana ranked first with the highest food price for sub-Saharan Africa.
Thank you.
World Bank ranked Ghana first as country with the highest food price. And I mentioned
2022. I'm Mr. Koko said 2024 because I said I moved from first and 6. And I reached 50 something countries in Africa. Now what does
Moody's what's up no Moody's.
The ambassador come out and say
I told
under this government, the Moody's Canadian so can say what cow there. So what doing there? It won't do there. When I was shifting and said, I know you also
is there anything
and I was saying, and I was what me I say I cannot. What you be actually
actually be a question.
That tell me that look at 45.
That's it. It won't go. I was upon Bremna Yampong.
That's me. So, Ufa Moody's for reports now.
Yeah.
There is a paragraph. Let me say around page 7. Disclaimer viewer. As Moody's credit ratings, assessments, other opinions and publications are not intended for the use by retail investors, and it would be reckless and inappropriate for retail investors to use Moody's credit rating assessments, other opinions or publications when making an investment decision.
And we are quote.
Oh, Moody's for
Moody's for
okay.
I'm saying
paragraph 6.
To no program 6.
All the finance back
into the
your other areas.
Was it exactly? Was it no here but I want to.
Somewhere. Too very much. One say more. One say more beer and also say there. And now one say more beer.
Exactly. Positives. So
let's focus on the positives.
Oh, I'm going to focus on the positives. Focus on the positives. Oh, didn't you ma me kind side I me kind say.
Yeah.
Oh, say yinchiaka o Ghana.
Yeah, the guy
yinchiaka.
Yes, tena.
Yeah, head cut in any other. Yinchiaka bia. Nti
some discount.
Oji akutwia 1,000 Ghana. Untwia oba school fees. Oyere besia oboye untwia. Wo dan kania de ade untwia. Near e wo se wohunu ne se 1,000 Ghana no ne ho ato e wo botom.
Assembly na.
What you say? Into botom wa ye fe, wa ye bema, wo ya kakabensem wa abonten. Kan hunu se kan we da ho twen. O books mu be ye fe, into obi a oye credit rating ya no beba no. Wo ye kama. What you say?
At the time of buying.
At the time we were buying.
Okay.
And to be per se, it is beautiful. If this indeed is where Ghana is, it is beautiful for the optics. Me, Anta, Oba as finance minister, or Stati Adibia Miniji, as a former banker, the environment to say it is always good to have a clear and a beautiful external image. I bet attractive investors. It is all here now occur region by region.
And I say what?
Na oni omu edin komo na or ma finance juma na say no anie ya we all was for us to have a beautiful dress clothes on. Na ebe attractive investors. Na a boosty external investors, any local investors. what you say omo confidence inti saa nyoma ni nyina o ye ni nyina na aboa masa di aye fefefe no na aye se cow dung no se unim cow dung
ni na wo na ntwe agya nan
na nso ase no
okay
what you say it is beautiful se ebe koni se ya ebe boa na mum ekoni se ya na nka efe no wo se nka de ebe ne first ka report ya beto abontin ade ebe chi nka yese dollar ene nam 5 cedis
and the way now to be
ade ebe chi no na nka menua uko odwom na nka bibia ewo ho sa inflation na o maka se aba from my east na nka reflect
inflation cost so ma fomo
oh obso mo mbrofo nko na nka a reflect
per the 54 ne dey
ewo prices no so it's still in the double digit say
20
inti asamo me kan say
20
omo report no efe
no dey different
report na efe no eno an ye diti hei ema omo me kinkan no ema me fe ye former finance minister who said that the books mu efe pa Papa no sure what friends say
in Canada
anoni finance
in what sense
the books no na mu efe
ko na adwuma no bia baba to aso
educate na me kin the books na kama fitan so de bia na Ghana yesu ni etwa adwo ni ebre nti that is something we need to be careful what you say the amamudis aka in same way no the elements no put in together no are they really what the case is senka already ya ma retain kama ya it should be reflective. But what I want you to understand, mama, a simple example, a scenario. What could you kitchen 1,000 Ghana cedis show bottom? Contractor for a year will light will fee won't try our mocha. We school for mascu fees won't try our year besia, could be name momonia and quite or yen and run them out, won't try my menica. Ufi raka won't try. Into bottom the eye there. This is good for us because we ought to be able to attract external investors. We ought to be able to stabilize the noise that is around us. But in this few days into the elections, yes, I be rabrunyam. Yes, I be kranyoma aba omanyimu. A bit media kwa kuriana. We should be talking about how best to the policy prescriptions are a bit me am I debt sustainability management we should be talking about of course so far GTP
stop reckless borrowing
so far a GTP we dey say another one we busa questions na I come
and say yen to me blame aban nko aye ma solutions
debt sustainability management your island can also maintain a strict capping on government borrowing to ensure public debt does not exceed 55% of gross domestic product. I was seeing a capping. This current administration has been so reckless when it comes to borrowing.
And you'll be in
now a brofo omo candidate dying omo say omo can brofo no as if say we are moving from taxations and borrowings to production. What you say your money dey that's what borrow sika na borrow ye no me pa cho eno hu eni ye hu ya na se wa ba me nchen se o ba be pobisia e de akwa akosi 10-bedroom house e de aye apartments ama han na me ba ye no dan ni de we siu na emum e 3 bedrooms even the quality of it no kra no so is in doubt say dan ni de we si
ba se ba makwaji abusuan pen makwaji ska me be ye abusuan pen ni nioma bi a me ba ma ba be hu no o se me so ano ntino omukwaji ska no ba enwuma ehia ya kwan yensuo electricity yesuku sem ya de
kwan de na okay
aban
tema moto we na mo de cement quota can cement
David I said they are new roads aban we
they are beautiful roads na say enye nnen kwan na ye share ase
say
I can say ye list here akwan no bebre overheads na e
me be na bato so da
sika no na ya part
yeah because ye
the patrol ye wo ECOWAS for the omo ye friend saying ECOWAS for my escape ya omo de ya kwan. ECOWAS roads.
Send I mean idea no. Kaswa
Anya buying sika.
Abai enya video
na baba na
this for this kind of video
abai we so one fanya so
no more much me anya na who was first can what me of fire
ya for me ni but ye pon
aso okay so who good na ba scan
sustainability management
ya ba de aba ya no ka say who na
to mani ye
scan na scan na
number 2 of the sustainability management. Say shift government's focus.
Yes, want me obi abara Pokuya say ama 2017
mama ne kasa Pokuya Clement Nsroma enya no ne discuss mani ne yenko
ama 2017 satam na mo
also shift government's focus from borrowing to finance capital expenditure to incentivizing or private sector to provide the financing for capital expenditure. Hey, oh, legon for kwan omu ye ya omu di to so.
Yeah.
Oh say e come private sector. Come poko to kwan bebre. Lawyer so to kwan bebre. Ye wa kwan a etwa ye ho hia mananu nyina. Enya aban sika ne de ye yo. E private sector. E no omu ye. Omu ye no omu gigi omu sika. Efri. Aban intimi finances are capital nyina wo. E wo se ankran ne adwuma kese ene. Hwe ye stadium ya ye si.
Stadium de here.
Stadium a yesisi president Kufu apenso yesisi
Legoni.
We are sure say say nka a private sector any see ni stadium to say the amanoni ni ade omesisi enka ni state ewo de we mu ya ye kosre obi ma so say yengo bobo
ya nkoye bo Accra Sports
no say you can Togo for amaye
ye wo airport akese
meet requirement na nko maye
wo airport akese etwa wiase hia these are all things we want to be able to do. Third one also enhance government revenue from exports to provide resources for budget support and thereby reduce the over-reliance on debt to finance fiscal deficit. Abanya party awa ba mi bia mema ba ko dem ka nim abbe bia mema
government ma ne wie
obi aso
national plan
na go say unim de ntia wo pre no ho party awa ba mi when to me am fa wo manifesto am abeto abonten o plan a wo di ko wani mu ntimi am fa abeto abonten. It took an individual who wanted to contest or who is contesting as an independent candidate
to
launch his plan.
Obia on the timelines for the end.
I am daring you as a broadcast journalist. Dr. Baumia. Manifesto I'm going to abontin. Me pacho wait me unya time kan.
Parts will have kind.
The person is saying if indeed they had
chairman first to down. I don't see have a copy. Chairman first to down. Who candidate before somebody here. What's up for my first time? Yeah, have a copy. No, 1 second. 1 second. What about you can do? Before first time, I want to this is of public. Sometimes just to learn.
The
new crusading guide. This is to the media houses. Or say stop imposing NDC MPP on Ghanaians. KOD charges media.
And we are not going to.
Oh, see, me fast asking we say. We have gotten to a point in Ghana's political history. Obiti Nsroma turning around the case of everyday insightful and argumentative politics into policy mind sinking.
But another one. Lawyer what you say. I was for ebe dom asia ha na we are ahini me musu to so eduna no ye de ne nyina ebesi na the hot seat na mama betina so me koi na am say ne eba be hia ye me redofo Mrs. Ophelia ni mado ene your birthday nyame nhira onka hono mo ahoden na de ohwe bia no onye emfama wo ne Audi wa wodai nyame enka wono nhira metamba menu aba ya kunama obi pado de yam no nse na mi birthday o na mi namba bia no wafra ba besia no otwetwe me ba yan Mrs. Ophelia mado pato on kan yana on kan pato we and I was say kwame boko I was say MC abai I was say to be no cock and peace and answer moving na on la as a I mean me na do you quite so your birthday pa Oscar o me call TV of course so amamwo ye wo butia amamwo ye wo butia amamwo ye wo butia what kind of birthday obi de ko abeso mu me fine NDC ni dia ino na aka yo abinya mama nkasa ma ya jutum oniska inti na wa he ni no ono side me DC abam nipa dia wote o se fa no kola na mo abam na mo ka DC so no messages be bad na message MC DC dey tubu o mesrem mo mam kwa me board do na nkasa o ga lam say sika aba be he me baby but ono what say sometimes was ga am say mam kwa me board do I was for hand mu si e da nianom nyina se e da akwaje wase sansom ni aba adwaye bo aje eda crew ni nyina ase se busuafo cameramen and producers nyina no eda ma se eda busuafo na se na ya sapon eda na ase sanso na lawyer Clement eda na ase na fe lawyer Tumba ma so eda mu nyina ase so me kan ho nyame kan ho nyame ya adoma ye wona eda tena e wade Nsroma so yakra